And I really, really wanted this to be my favorite song. It's a bop. I am a little bit ashamed how low this is, but the more I listened to it, the more it just got to me emotionally. I love this song for so many reasons. People are gonna be angry about this one. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Nina. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you, and if you're not new, thanks for coming back. It has been over a month since Midnights came out, and the reason that I didn't do a ranking right away is because I really wanted to spend a lot of time with this album and listen to all of the songs, give every single song a chance, because I do think the more you listen to it, the more you are drawn to different songs over time. And this always happens for me where it's like every other day there's a new song that I'm like really into, really vibing with. And I will say my top 5 completely changed from like the first week until now. The more that I listened to all of the tracks and the more that I could relate to certain songs. And it really is like what they call the Taylor Swift effect, where the more you listen to it, the more you really, really enjoy it. And I think for some of these songs, I really needed more time with it. And then I was like, yes, I really like this song. So today I'm going to be ranking all 21 songs of Midnights, all of the versions, the original version with the first 13 tracks, as well as the 7 3 a.m. tracks, as well as Hits Different. They're all going to be thrown into the mix here. This was so hard, and I will say I think the most thought I put into it is like my top 5 or my top 10, and the rest of them I didn't feel like super strongly about them either way. So it's not like I really hated tracks and that's why they're at the bottom. It's more so I just like liked some of them much more and I could connect with them more. I think everyone is allowed to have their opinion about the songs, but I think people have their favorite song and that is their favorite song, you know? Like there can be songs that are objectively really good, but I think when someone's like saying, oh, this one is my favorite song, it doesn't necessarily mean that like it is the best song on the album. It means that it has a special meaning to them. And so my little disclaimer here is that I love this whole album. There's no tracks that I do not like. There's some that I listen to more than others for sure, and I think that's that way for everybody, but this is just my opinion, my favorite songs from the album, and the songs that I connect with the most. So that's my little disclaimer there, so don't come after me in the comments. And so let's just get into it. Okay, so I'm starting with number 21 at the very bottom. There's not a lot of reasons that these songs are on like the bottom, other than I just usually skip them, or I would say I don't listen to them like alone, so to speak. If I'm in the car, sometimes I will skip a song, but if I'm with a big group of people, sometimes I will just let it play, and it's more of like a song that you listen to with your group and it's like fun. Anyways, I feel like a lot of those songs to me are like at the bottom. So the very bottom is Vigilante shit, and some people are gonna be really upset about that, but this song is super different and I applaud her for branching out. And there's a few really good one-liners in this song. My favorite line I think is he was doing lines and crossing all of mine. That's a really clever lyric, and I understand like this song is for people to feel like a bad bitch and all of that kind of stuff, and it's one of those songs that really like hypes you up. And like for me, I feel like this is giving a lot of Reputation for sure, and I feel like when Reputation came out, we all kind of like thought we were super edgy, and I think this is an edgy song for someone who isn't edgy, you know? So if you wanted to like feel yourself or just get in that like mindset, this is a good one to get you in that confident mindset. It's not one that I just listen to like in my headphones, you know? Okay, so moving up the list at number 20, I have High Infidelity. Again, I do like this song a lot. It's not one that I am gonna listen to a lot. I do really like the part where she says, do you really want to know where I was April 29th? I really like that part. I think it's funny that this song kind of follows like that melody right there is very reminiscent of Renegade from when Taylor Swift featured on the Big Red Machine album. And I like how vulnerable this song is, and Taylor Swift is completely taking another perspective on a situation and kind of taking responsibility a little bit while also explaining herself and why she did what she did, I guess. This was a shocking song to me for Taylor Swift to to put out because, again, infidelity, that's a big confession to make. And I don't really like when the meaning of the song gets caught up in her as a person and like the events that have happened in her life, because now every time I hear it, all I think about is like Tom Hiddleston and Calvin Harris and that whole situation, and I'd rather the song be detached from what it's actually about. So anyways, moving up the list, at number 19, I have Bigger Than the Whole Sky. It's a very good like airplane song. I feel like I said this in my other video where it's like one of those songs you listen to on transportation. You just kind of like gaze out the window and it's just very coasting for the entire song. It's also sad, which is why I tend to skip it. I have to really be in the mood to listen to this song. I have to be in the right headspace, maybe like, you know, in my dimly lit room or when I'm driving at night. It's like a very much situational type of song that I listen to, but I love it. I don't have anything bad to say about it. Number 18 is Glitch. I think this song is so kind of like cheeky, and I love the first verse where she says, depending on what situationship I'm in and what's in my system. I think that's funny. And also when in the bridge where it kind of goes silent and then she comes back and it's like, Glitch, like that jump scare. So funny. But I do find myself getting this song stuck in my head recently. And I will say at first listen, I didn't really like this song, but the more I listened to it, again, the Taylor Swift effect, it kept getting stuck in my head, and I do really like the concept of it and like the metaphor of like in your brain being like, oh, there must be something wrong that this is going so well. There must have been a glitch because she's been in this really long relationship that was never supposed to happen. Glitch is like a 50-50. I might skip it, I might listen to it, just depends on the mood that I'm in. And moving up the list, people are gonna be angry about this one. And I really, really wanted this to be my favorite song, and I feel like every time I choose a favorite song before the album comes out, while just looking at the track list, it always ends up not being my favorite song. I love this song, but again, it's one of those ones where it's fun to listen to with all your friends, and it's like a beat pop song, but like it's not one I'm gonna listen to in my headphones. I might listen to it in the car, but that would be Karma. And as an original Karma believer, I am a little bit ashamed how low this is. And I think it's such a fun song, and I think she took that and kind of was poking fun at it. And it's interesting the perspective she took as karma is a good thing. It's like, no, karma's my friend. Karma isn't your friend. When she talked about karma before, it's like wishing bad on other people, like they're gonna get what's coming to them in a bad way. But when people say karma's coming to her, she's like, oh, that's great. Like, I'm probably gonna have good karma because I'm a good person. And again, it's just like the chorus is so catchy. I think this is a lot of people's like favorite song, but yeah, that would be what number is that? 17 for me. I'm sorry. Moving up the list, we have Question. I do like this one. I usually don't skip it. I really like the parallel between Out of the Woods in this song and the callbacks and everything about it, especially like at the beginning where it goes, I remember. And I love how the chorus kind of sounds like a conversation, especially with the background vocals where she goes, did you leave the house in the middle of the night? Oh. It's like that background vocal is kind of like responding to their answer kind of, or reacting. But it's so funny. This song, I really like it, and so it's number 16, but again, I think it's in the list of the hierarchy of the songs that I really, really love and relate to. I don't think I can relate to this one that much because I haven't really been in that kind of situationship kind of thing, but it's a really fun song. Then we got number 15, and that is Hits Different. This song completely reminds me of the vault tracks on Red. It almost has the same melody as The Very First Night. It's a really upbeat song, and it's so different from every other song on the album. It's like kind of like the odd one out a little bit, but I think the lyrics are kind of funny, especially that line that goes, I pictured you with other girls in love, then threw up on the street. Like, that's so relatable. I think a lot of this song is relatable, and my favorite part of the song is in the bridge where she hits that high note where she says, take me away. That part is really good. I think her vocals in the song slap. It's a bop. The reason it's lower is just because I don't get to listen to it unless I'm in my car, which kind of sucks. I should really figure out how to get it on my Spotify, or I hope she releases it soon on Spotify. Okay, moving up the list to 14, I have Bejeweled, and I actually love this song so much. It's one of the bops that I don't skip. Again, with the little Bejeweled dance from TikTok, that is so fun. At first, I was unsure about all of like the video game sounds in this song, just the way that it sounded kind of like Candyland. But after the music video came out and I got more visual, it just became more popular. I really grew to like this song a lot. And every time I'm in the car, I'm just like dancing and bopping to this song. Of course, my favorite part is the shimmer, and then the line that says, "I'm going out tonight." Some of the lyrics in this song confuse me a little bit, but it's really fun. Moving up the list at number 13, we have Lavender Haze. If you didn't notice, all the bops are kind of towards the bottom, and it's not because I don't love them, because I do love them. Lavender Haze, I think, is my favorite upbeat bop from the album, I think. You can dance to it, it's so catchy, and it makes me just want to like groove every time I hear it, and I think it was one of the most listened to songs for me in the first month, just because it is the first track and it really is a good start off to the album. I'm still waiting for the music video. I truly believe that that is like the missing piece and all those little scenes that we haven't gotten yet. I think it's from the Lavender Haze music video, but we'll have to wait and see when she's gonna come out that. Maybe she'll come out that next week because it's her birthday. I don't know. I'm calling it now. But I love Lavender Haze. It's so fun. Okay, moving up to number 12 is Labyrinth, and you'll notice the top half of my list is very much emotional songs with a few exceptions, but very deeply emotional. With Labyrinth, again, it's one of my like airplane, look out the window, drive at night songs, but I think my favorite thing is the chorus because she repeats like the same line over and over again with like a little different hint of emotion. So like the first emotion is like, oh, I'm falling in love. I'm scared. And then the second emotion, like, oh no, I'm falling in love. And then the third emotion's like acceptance. It's like, oh, I'm falling in love. Like, oh, this is different this time. So I like how you can hear the change in her tune. You know, she was so used to falling in love and being scared because every other relationship has ended badly. She's like, oh no, just another, crazy tumultuous relationship. But then it ended up being something positive and long-lasting thanks to Joe. And then at number 11, we have Would've, Could've, Should've. This is one of my favorite from the 3 a.m. edition. It's so interesting how different the verses sound from the chorus. The verses sound very like haunting. Again, like I think this song calls back a lot of songs from Speak Now. Obviously we know she mentions 19 in the chorus, Dear John, haunted, like just all of those like feelings I can feel in this song. And it kind of gives a little bit more background to her emotions, the actual situation. It's a reflective song. It's like looking back on it. So it's like you have a different perspective now that you're older looking back on it. But yes, I love the guitar in the first part, and I just love the soaring chorus. I would've stayed on my knees. It's one that you can like scream in the car. And then the bridge, that one is really just makes me want to take off running. The feelings, this one is very passionate. So yeah, it's like a power ballad type of vibe. So moving up the list at number 10, I have You're on Your Own, Kid. I think this song is pretty relatable because it just kind of like paints a picture of, she just takes us through her life from being a kid and always having to rely on herself. Growing up having to deal with comparison and judgment from others, and then we have the bridge where it like goes through like a breakthrough. It starts out like really, really sad, but then I feel like in the bridge it's like you're running up a hill, you're climbing a mountain, and then you finally like gotten there. This is one of those career defining songs, I think, where it's like after you listen to it you kind of get chills because you're like, oh, like one of those songs you feel like you made it to the end of something by the end of it, and at the end she's like, you're gonna be okay because I was okay. So I think really the bridge does it for me. Absolutely. Number 9, we have Anti-Hero. This one, I think because it was the lead single, everyone gravitated to it first, and it was one of my first favorite songs on the album, and I listened to it a lot, and I loved the first verse so much. And then when it got to the chorus, I thought it was so fun, and I couldn't believe she could make such sad lyrics sound like a bop, like a happy bop, like if you watch the music video, it's so funny. She's like making fun of herself almost. At the same time, it's one of the most vulnerable, exposing songs for her. And then when you get to The bridge, it's kind of funny because you're talking about, oh, like my daughter-in-law kills me for the money, but then it goes, it's me, hi, I'm the problem. You can like hear the desperation and the sadness and just like the helplessness in her voice. Sad bop. I love it. And then number 8, we have Mastermind. And I love this song for so many reasons. My favorite part of the song is the drop into the chorus from the verse, because you have it like once upon a time and it's like a fairy tale. And then when you get into the chorus, she said this in an interview, I think. She's like, we want it to feel like a villain has entered the room, like a mastermind. So like that drop, zoom, and now I told you none of it. And so it goes into it really quickly there. But I love the idea of being a mastermind because I feel like I can relate a lot, and like having to make moves for yourself. You gotta like go after what you want and like plant seeds and be cryptically obvious and whatnot. But I do like and then it's like, oh, like this is so fun. And then we get to the bridge and then it just like rips your heart out. No one wanted to play with me as a little kid, and that's the why I'm a mastermind. I've been scheming forever. I just love the fact that she fit the word Machiavellian into a song. She has such a talent of fitting really long-winded, multiple syllable words into songs and making it sound good. Yeah, so Mastermind. Okay, now we're at number 7, and number 7 is Snow on the Beach. And at first I was unsure of this song, but the more I listened to it, the more it just got to me emotionally. I love the lightness of it, and I actually like the clean version better. I feel like when you take out the F word, it feels, I don't know, it feels a little more meaningful and soft to me. I get it, you fit that F word in there, you go girl, Taylor, but I just like how it sounds without it. It says, snow on the beach, weird but it was beautiful. I feel like she could have just stuck with that. But my favorite line from this song is, it might just have been you passing by unbeknownst to me. It's like you never know what someone is gonna mean to you when you first meet them. And then I like the part where it says, I'm unglued thanks to you. And I thought this was a very interesting metaphor for her to draw with snow on the beach. I could just imagine her walking in England on the beach in the winter being like, oh, this is so weird for me. Anyways, that one's a really soft one. I love the part about Aurora Borealis. Lyrically, just very pretty. Moving up the list, number 6. This song, I love it so much. It gives me so much serotonin. It makes me want to just like scream. And every time I hear this in the car, it's a full performance. And that would be Paris. I love the first verse and it's so clever. It took me quite a few listens to understand where that was going. It's like, oh, someone is trying to gossip to her about some person she dated a long time ago. And then at the end of all this gossip, she's like, I don't care. What? Like, I'm over here. I'm in another place. Like, she does not care about what other people are saying anymore. You hear that more in the second verse where she says, privacy sign on the door, on the page, and on the whole world. Like, romance is not dead if you keep it just yours. So it's like explaining like how she has been able to find her privacy, her happy place. And then my favorite part is the bridge. It's just like, you can hear her smiling almost, singing the bridge. So next time you hear Paris, think about the bridge and think about her just like smiling and singing it. It's like you can hear the smile. It's so weird. I want to brainwash you into loving me forever. Oh, so funny. That song immediately lifts my mood. And then we're getting into my top 5 now. This number 5 went up my ranks so quickly. I think it wasn't until I learned how to play it on guitar and I like read through the lyrics that I was like, oh, this one hits. Like, it may be kind of like a bop, but it's also just like a soul stabber. And that would be The Great War. I just love how she kind of switches up the chorus every time. You can feel the push and pull that's happening and how it's like she's fighting against what's good for her, essentially, and trying to like self-sabotage every time. And every time he reaches out, telling her that it's gonna be fine and that they're gonna survive the war. My favorite line is in the last chorus where she says, always remember, we're burned for better. Yeah, we've been through like a lot of shit, but I think we're better because of it now. And like, we're stronger than ever. I will always be yours because we survived the Great War. It's like, if we could survive the past however many years, I think we're good, you know? So I think the lyrics hit harder the more I listen to it, you know? But I do love the part of the chorus where she says, uh-huh, It's like the best part. Moving up the list, top 4. Number 4 is Midnight Rain. This song I can relate to like the best, I think, on the album, like so well, because um I feel like it's for like the people who feel like they're changing all the time and like cannot be complacent or comfortable, you know? It's like I always want to be growing and changing. And if the person you're with always stays the same, it's comfortable, it's good, but it isn't what you're looking for, because you're looking for someone to grow with and to support you in all your endeavors. And it seems like in this song, it's like he wanted to just settle down, get married, and like be done with it. And she was like, no, I got ambitions. I got things I gotta get done. I got things to do. Like, he was sunshine, I was midnight rain. My favorite, one of the funniest lines is, I broke his heart because he was nice. And I feel like that mentality kind of gets criticized sometimes, because it's like, oh, like, why would you break up with them because they're nice? Like, that's so mean to say. They're a nice guy. It's like, you can't explain. Being nice is not always means you should stay with somebody. If you don't feel challenged as a person, if you don't think you're gonna grow as a person, like, why are you staying, you know? Anyways, I go hard to this song in the car. So good. I wasn't sure about like the pitched down part, but now I love it so much. Okay, moving up the list, we have our top 3, and the number 3 is Maroon. I think this just gets so high because of the second part of the chorus and the line that says, the rust that grew between telephones. How could Taylor Swift take something that's so like, oh, we just stopped talking, oh, we don't talk anymore, and turn it into, oh, the rust that grew between telephones? It's like she always says it without saying it in the most creative way, and it hits so hard. And I just absolutely love the parallels between this song and the Red album, just how different a perspective this takes, because again, she talks about New York, she talks about indie record or vinyl shelf. You're getting all those Red vibes, and you're realizing, oh, it wasn't burning red, it was maroon. It was a much duller version now, looking back on it from the perspective of actually knowing what a healthy relationship looks like. And the bridge, now this one deserved the F word, I think. It earned it. Like, it's so satisfying and cathartic to scream that bridge. Like, it's so good. And then the very last chorus where she does kind of like an octave down. It's the perfect way to end the song. Okay, moving up the list to my top 2. These ones are neck and neck to me, honestly, because both of them really, really like speak to my heart a lot and my soul. Number 2 is Sweet Nothing. I love how simple it is, and I feel like every artist aspires to write a song like this and have the experience in order to write a song like this, because it is so simple. The lyrics are so simple but so poetic at the same time. Like, this song could be a poem, and Taylor and Joe wrote it together, which makes it hit even harder. I saw somewhere that this song would be like the response to Peace from Folklore. It's like, I could never bring you peace. And in this song, it's like, well, that's fine, because all I've ever wanted from you was nothing. Like, I've never wanted anything from you. I just wanted you. My favorite line is the second verse where it says, on the way home, I wrote a poem. You say, what a mind. This happens all the time. It's like, that's just these 4 lines, and you get so much from it. Kind of get the entire relationship dynamic from just those 4 lines. And then the part where she says, I'm just too soft for all of it. I think her voice in this song is so dreamy, and the way that she sings Sweet Nothing, Sweet Nothing. And I think this song reminds me of You Are in Love, but instead of having the outside perspective, she is now having that first person experience of it, and I'm just so happy for her, and hopefully one day we can all find this. Okay, moving up to my very top song, you know it now that I've said everything, Dear Reader. And I just did a lyric breakdown of this song yesterday. Then I wasn't sure what I was gonna put first, but then I was like, this has to be first. Like, this is the song I relate to the most. This is the song that hits me the hardest, because I am a writer and I had an English degree. I did creative writing. I've written a lot of nonfiction pieces. I do songwriting. I've kept a journal since I was 9 years old. I highly identify with like that prose, kind of like addressing someone and kind of feeling like an imposter as a writer, thinking like, who am I to give people advice when my life's in shambles? And then the very last part of the song, the bridge, like the outro part, it hits so hard. And if you guys want to see that full lyric breakdown, I will link that down below and you guys can check that out and I'll go through all the lyrics there. But I think the line that hits the hardest is the one that says, no one sees when you lose when you're playing solitaire. It's like nobody can see your internal struggles. That's something that you just have to like take in yourself and figure it out for yourself. For her, writing songs is what helps her with those internal struggles. So I think having this be the last song on Midnights, I think it's so underrated and not talked about enough. And it doesn't have enough attention. The fact that this is the end of it and she's just like addressing us personally, like, dear reader. She's basically saying like, I've poured out my advice to you as much as I can, but even I still struggle with every single thing and every single piece of advice I'm giving you. I still struggle with all of that. And so I feel like, I think that's why this is my favorite song. I just love how self-aware it is, how much I can relate to it and how hard it hits me lyrically. And I just love it as a whole. The production, the lyrics, her voice, everything. I never skip it, and that's how I know. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. Please share with me your Midnights rankings down below. Let's talk about it. If you have opinions on my rankings, please be kind. I'm excited to see what your guys' rankings are. Also, if you guys are wondering where I got this sweatshirt, meet me at midnight. I've linked that down below. I've been getting a lot of questions about it and I love it. I've worn it like every day this week pretty much, and I highly recommend it. It's from Etsy. But anyways, thanks for watching this video and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.